Good morning. Thank you for watching Sunday Kickoff. I am Fidel Barraza. Alongside with me, like always, Jer Martinez, Kendall Whitley, Walter Stringer. Guys, how you doing?
Hey, okay.
Just about ready for Thanksgiving, right?
Yep, about 4 days away from Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Weather's starting to change. Pretenders are going away. Contenders are showing up to these games now. So let's go ahead and talk about Week 11. I believe we're in now. That sounds crazy to say, right? Week
Yes.
11 already in the NFL. Quick recap of a game. I guess you can't even call it a game. It was the complete destroy of the Atlanta Falcons, 25-0 by the New England Patriots. Kendall, I mean, not too much to say about this game, but since you are the Patriots fan, I'll go and turn it over to you.
Domination. I mean, it was a short week. It was a very short week. So the offense looked just about how I thought it would look coming off the big win against Cleveland. I didn't expect too much. I just thought it was one of them games. The Patriots, we just wanted to get out of it healthy and with a good win.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Walt.
No, I was just gonna say I agree. I think the Patriots did what a good football team is supposed to do, coming to the situation they went into. Even despite the fact they were on the road, and I know a lot of people expect Atlanta to play better at home, but at the end of the day, that's a bad Atlanta team. Let's be honest. You know, they lost a lot over the offseason. They lost their head coach. They lost both of their starting safeties. They got a rookie starting at one of the safety positions. AJ Terrell, he's a solid player, but he's still growing into the position that he's at. So I think the Patriots did exactly what they were supposed to do. They took care of business, and they've all but caught the Buffalo Bills so far.
Yeah, and then also too, next Monday night there's a showdown. I believe it's going to be in Foxborough between the Patriots and the Bills. Don't look now; the Patriots are only one game behind. So if they were to win that game, they would be in first place
We got Tennessee next Sunday, and
in
then
2 weeks. Then correct?
then we go to Buffalo.
Okay, and
On
then
Monday night.
Buffalo's got a tough matchup today against these Colts, a team that's very desperate for these wins, still trying to make the playoffs. So it's going to be a very interesting game today in Buffalo.
Yeah, and I think with Buffalo, they just signed right tackle right off the streets. Hart,
Yeah,
Mhm.
former,
I forget
former,
who's
he
practice
was for,
squad.
he was formerly with the Bengals, and man, he was atrocious. He just was not. He was not a good right tackle in the
They
league
got
at all.
offensive line issues for sure.
Yeah, and we just had an Instagram live with Don Mitchell, right? Is that
Dan
his name?
Mitchell.
Dean. Yeah, and he's a big Bills guy, and he was saying that the only thing that's gonna hurt them is going to be the actual offensive line. But yeah, looking back at these Patriots, they look like geniuses, just staying put, drafting Mac Jones, and then adding to their defensive line. I mean, what can you say? The Patriots look like they're in prime position to make a strong push into the playoffs, and I don't know, sky's the limit with this team, especially if not this season, but for sure the following seasons.
Yeah, I mean, to me right now they're my favorite team in the AFC. Just
Yeah,
because they're one of the most consistent teams in the league. That defense is ferocious. I mean, going from the D line to defensive backs. CJ Jackson is a stud. I think is one of the best defensive backs in football.
That's
Um,
JC Jackson.
yeah, JC Jackson.
yeah.
And then also too, Hunter Henry is playing well, and that seems to be Mac's favorite target.
Well, I think also when you look at come playoff time, they've got the most experience. Them, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, you look at the core of those teams, what they've been through, they're battle tested, and of course the head coaches. So you compare those three guys to the rest of the AFC, you're looking at a bunch of first year starters, aside from Andy Reid. You know, of course you got to put Andy Reid in that category as well, but they've got the experience on their side too. So I'm pretty sure it took a lot of confidence, whatever you want to call it, on Bill Belichick's side to go into this season and say, you know what, a couple weeks before the start of the season, I'm going to cut Cam Newton and I'm going to make a rookie my starter. You know, similar to what Pete Carroll did, very similar to what Pete Carroll did when it came to Russell Wilson in Seattle a few years back.
Yeah, and then also too, they were undefeated on the road, and that's the most
That's
important
what's up.
thing I think out of everything. Because in the playoffs, what do you need if you don't have the number one seed? You need to win on the road.
Yeah, they're taking care of business in the AFC as well. So
Yeah, but don't look
As
now,
they say,
Patriots,
a good running game and a good defense travels.
and it's two running backs, not even just one.
Yeah, it's
So
actually four running backs.
yeah, all right. Well, don't look now, but the Patriots are looking like the old Patriots again. So we'll see. All right, let's go over the inactive for today. This list is a little bit long, so just a heads up. All right, Alvin Kamara, Teron Armstead, Ryan Ramczyk, Jeremy McNichols, Ricky Seals-Jones, Marquise Brown, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, David Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones, Amari Cooper with COVID, DeAndre Hopkins with a hip injury, Chris Carson's done for the year, TJ Watt's still dealing with a hip injury, Joe Hayden, Minka Fitzpatrick. So 3 defensive starters for the Pittsburgh Steelers that will not play tonight against the Chargers.
Oh boy. Do we know what Charger team is going to show up?
That's a good question.
Do we know what Steeler team is going to show up?
Well, Big Ben's playing, so that's good for them.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. So he'll be starting for tonight's game. But, I mean, as far as your other question, I mean, I'm not sure what Charger team we're going to see.
Yeah. What do you think is going on with them? As you know, because the thing is this, I think as huge of a Justin Herbert fan as I am, everybody hits that wall. You know, some guys, look at Baker. Baker had a phenomenal rookie season, hit that wall midway through his second season in the league. So I think a lot of some people are kind of dropping their stock on Justin Herbert right now. I think Justin's fine. I think he's just going through the motions a little bit. Defenses will adjust to you. Coordinators will adjust to you. So Justin has to adjust. His offense coordinator has to adjust. And they have to figure out a way to consistently run the football more than anything.
Well, that's the thing. But sometimes, I mean, when you have a defense that can't stop the run either, you get behind in these games, especially when you start playing these elite running backs like they did last week in Dalvin Cook. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Chargers got some multiple things, but, I mean, tonight they got to win this game.
Well, Eckler's pretty much boom or bust.
Yeah.
He's either has a great game or he has a non-existent game, but we can honestly take a look around the entire NFL and see that goes with a lot of running backs today. It's a pass-first league, so it's all based on the game plan and what happens as far as the nuances of what teams do to you once the game starts.
Yeah, and I think the other big injury that not too many people are talking about, well, they're talking about it, but not like I think it's going to have a big impact in today's game is Amari Cooper being out for the Dallas Cowboys in that game of the week in Kansas City. Now, I know that the Cowboys do have wide receivers on wide receivers, but I think Amari Cooper, well, obviously is one of the best receivers in the team.
I don't know. I don't think
they'll miss him.
They're not going to miss him. I mean, CeeDee Lamb really stepped up pretty big last week. I think Michael Gallup stepped up pretty huge with that one catch. So I mean, if anything, Cedric Wilson has showed that he belongs in the NFL, and he's showing up, and it's his year.
I think
you guys don't think that the offense skips a beat?
I think it's a big time for Michael Gallup. He wants to get paid in the offseason, or Amari Cooper's out, so you go ahead and show out what you can do today.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson also is 50-50 to play today. He's got a stomach illness, so he might not play against the Bears today. Game time decision as well.
I'm going to just say one more thing about those Cowboys. If they can run the ball enough, they should be okay. I brought this up earlier in the week on Nodad's podcast. Actually on my podcast, we were discussing the Cowboys. They're 28-5 when Zeke rushes for over 100 yards. That's since he's came into the league. That's 28-5. They're 2-0 this season when he rushes for over 100 yards, but he hasn't gotten 100 yards since that Giant game a few weeks ago. So get him going. Don't get into a whatever contest with the Kansas City Chiefs about who can be the biggest, who can be the baddest, who can score the most. Because at the end of the day, you're better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Like right now, from top to bottom, you are. You got the pass rusher. You got a playmaker in the secondary, a couple playmakers. You got 3 playmakers actually in that secondary. You got one of the best young edge rushers in the league right now in Micah Parsons. You've got the running backs. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be there to be ran on, so why not run on them? Do not let ego get involved and try to just shoot the Chiefs out of the game in the first quarter and a half.
Well said.
Let's go ahead and stick with that matchup too as the game of the week. Cowboys Chiefs.
How big of an impact do y'all think the Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence absence will have on this game when it comes to pass rush? I know the Cowboys got some depth with Basham, and I think Gallamore's back. They got Basham and Gallimore, and I think they got a couple other guys. But how big of an impact, Jerry, do you think with Lawrence and Gregory out? How big of an impact do you think they're going to have tonight?
Well, I mean, Lawrence has been out for pretty much the whole season, so that really doesn't make it. doesn't make too big of a difference. But I do think the Randy Gregory is going to have some sort of impact. But like Walter said earlier, I think that we have an opportunity with the Cowboys to allow Michael Parsons to use Michael Parsons all over the field. But at the same token, you need Michael Parsons to stop that, to stop that running back, because if you noticed last week the Chiefs, that's all they were doing was with those little swing passes out to the running back, or the check downs to the running back, and the running back was able to get the first down. So that's kind of like where I was kind of going with it. When you look at the third down percentage, right now, the Cowboys, overall, they have a 46.67% third down percentage. In other words, they're getting the first down. But in these last 3 games, the Cowboys have averaged 38.89%. That's their third down efficiency. You look at the Chiefs, their overall third down efficiency is 56%. And the last 3 games has been at 50%. So that's exactly what you want to do. So that just shows you that when it comes to getting that first down, the Chiefs, that's the one area where the Chiefs are stronger than the Cowboys, is getting that crucial first down.
And real quick, we do have some breaking news. So Lamar Jackson is officially out today for their game against the Bears. He will be out, and he's got
Woo.
or non-COVID illness is what they're saying.
Boy,
What-
I can hear
Well,
the line moving right as we speak.
yeah.
Hey, hey, Jerry, I want to ask you a question about Dallas.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to blend a little college football to this. I was watching the Georgia game yesterday. Depending on where you guys pick at, which I'm pretty sure is going to be nowhere near the top 15, 16, 17 picks, is a guy like Jordan Davis helpful to that front four?
Oh
I mean,
man,
that
yes.
first seven? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and if we look at it, that would be a perfect blend, right? Because it's kind of hard. The Cowboys drafted Tristan Hill, what was it, 2 seasons ago, and I think last week was kind of like his first game back,
Mhm.
because Usa, the rookie this year, he's really showed his motor and he could play that three technique. But Jordan Davis would be that nose, so it would allow Cowboys to have multiple looks. Maybe a 3-4 look, maybe a traditional 4-3, and I think that would just instantly stop the run and give Micah the opportunity to shoot any gap he wants, and that defense
Yeah.
would now be a top 5 defense.
Basically,
So,
give him his Tony Saragusa, his Sam Adams.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I mean from there, that's just gonna help the back end too. I mean, Anthony Brown has been playing some really good ball. I know that we all want to talk as Cowboy fans. We all want to talk about Trayvon Diggs, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Anthony Brown has been with the Cowboys for a while now, but man, I'll tell you this: Anthony Brown has playing some great ball, great technique. I mean, just look at his technique. I mean, he's been coming away with picks too. So I think that the sky is the limit for the Cowboys. Today's going to be a real test. It's going to be their Super Bowl, right? Because the Cowboys have not faced a team like this, with everybody, and I'm not saying everybody's healthy, but I'm saying with a healthy Dak Prescott, and that's because Dak's not really healthy. He's still, I believe he still has the cap issue, and I don't know whatever happened with that shoulder issue he started off the season with. So this is, in essence, this is kind of like, I guess, what a Cowboys would feel with a Super Bowl. And I will tell you this Cowboys team is different, man. I don't know if you guys notice it when you guys see them out there in the field. They're playing with a different kind of energy, a different kind of attitude. They're taking this game so serious now. Even Zeke, man. Zeke was infamous. I mean, you still see him as a little knucklehead out there making, boneheaded things, doing his little boneheaded things, but I mean, they're all in it, and they all want to They all want to get to Super Bowl, and they have the talent to get into Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then quick note for the Chiefs: Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's missed multiple games. He's going to be back today for the Chiefs. So we'll see
Yep.
what kind of impact that has for that Chiefs offense. All right, let's go and pick these games for today. Let's start out, Walt, with your Detroit Lions against the Cleveland Browns. Browns right now are favored by 13 points.
I'll take Cleveland, and I'll take Cleveland to cover that 13 points.
Give me the Browns.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, give me the Browns.
Yeah, give me the Browns.
Well,
Not much to talk
actually,
about.
what's the over? What's the over under?
Over under is 42.5. Now, keep in mind there's going to be some rain in today's game too, so
Oh,
might be
yeah, I'll be
might be a
under.
sloppy game.
Yeah,
I like the under.
yeah, I like the under. Browns play sloppy ball right now with
Yeah.
in rain.
Well, I think it depends on what Cleveland feels like they have to do against us.
Nick Chubb's back, so you know what that means. They're going to run that ball.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, next game, San Francisco 49ers visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Right now, the Niners are a 6.5-point favorite. Under over is 45.5. Game is in
Now,
Jacksonville.
I'll give me the 49ers. I don't think I'm gonna go under because I think the 49ers are just gonna run the ball on them.
yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I'll take Not Jacksonville. Well, hey, wait a minute now.
Do it, man. That
I
was
like
It's
Jacksonville.
it's a tricky one now.
Well, it's tricky. You know what? The hell with it.
Jags.
The
Go with
hell
the
with it.
Jags.
I'll take Jacksonville. I'll
I'll
take
take.
Jacksonville.
I like Jacksonville to win this game,
Hey,
and I like the under.
can you access real quick? Just well, I want to hear because nobody's really touched on it. How do you feel Trevor's done so far this year with? I mean, I understand the Jags need help all over the field,
Mhm.
but how do you think Trevor has done so far? I mean, I know it's not one of those great years for the Jaguars.
I think Trevor's done very well. He's steadily gotten better with each week. Um, he's being asked to do a lot more, especially pushing the ball downfield to Mac Jones. That's why I think when people make that Lawrence to Jones comparison, you have to realize these guys play in two completely different offenses. They got two completely different head coaches with different mentalities, and one kid is asked to push the ball downfield a whole lot. He's pretty much asked to be everything to that offense. So I think Trevor's steadily gotten better with each week. And we discussed it before the draft. Like he was one of those guys I felt that was kind of like fail proof. I just felt like he was in that Andrew Luck situation, mentality wise, where he's been groomed for this since he was 11 years old. So
All right, moving along. All right, next game, Indianapolis Colts visiting the Buffalo Bills. Right now, the Bills are a 7-point favorite. Under over is 49, and I believe they might have some rain in northern New York.
over under 50, I'll go under.
49. 49. Okay.
I'll go under, and I'll take the Colts to win.
I'm going with the Colts because I need the Colts to win.
Well, the Colts are gonna run that ball straight down Buffalo's throat. The Colts not gonna play around with them
Yeah,
at all.
I like Indy as well.
Yeah, I think in this case it's a very tough situation. Go ahead and give me the Bills, man. I think that I think Josh Allen's gonna find a way to win. I'm not really kind of taught the Bills. I understand their offensive line's a mess, but you get Josh Allen outside the if you can get him outside, get him to swing outside and look downfield. I think he's either gonna run or make the plays, and he can make the play. And I think the Bills are gonna win this tough game.
Washington football team at the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton is officially starting for the Panthers this week. Panthers are a 3.5-point favorite. Under and over is 43 points.
I'll take Carolina. I'll take them to cover, and I'll take the over on the points. I think Washington got too much going on right now. Is Sweat and Young both out now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you lose both your edge rushers. Things have been sketchy for you already. Even though Taylor Heineke, he's throwing for a bunch of yards and whatnot, but things been too sketchy for Washington this season. I think Carolina's hot right now. They're riding their emotional wave. What they got going on right now is what he started today. This is his homecoming. That place is going to be lit. I can see Carolina jumping on Washington early.
Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah, I think that when you look at it, man, I mean, I think, man, Cam Newton is just the right infused right of energy, and man, that morale's back, and man, he has a defense. You know what I mean? So, this is exactly what Cam had when he won his MVP. That same style of team. So, give me the Panthers. I'm expecting some a big turnaround in that division.
And give me the over as well on that 43 points. All right, New Orleans visiting Philadelphia. The Eagles right now are 3-point favorites. Under and over is 42 points.
Vegas doesn't still have it as a pick'em.
Not from what I'm seeing.
I'm seeing the same thing. I'm looking at Vegas. Now I do see MGM has them favored by 3. Everybody else has them favored by 3. But I don't know. Either way, I think
Fly,
New,
Eagles, fly.
New Orleans losing both of those backs, and you're looking at playing at Philly. That place has always been a tough place to play for everybody.
And Ramchick's out too. So
Yeah,
I think that's the
Ramchick.
biggest thing in the game.
As soon as I saw that news that Kamara was out, Ramchick was out, I was like, man, give this to the Eagles. I mean, as much
Eagles
as
cover.
Of course, 3 points.
yeah,
They will.
I'm going to Eagles.
Yeah.
And I like the over. I'll go with the over on that 42.
I'll go under.
All right, Houston visiting Tennessee. Titans right now are 10-point favorite, and under over is 44.5.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee, but I want Houston to win. I know it's not gonna happen.
I don't know, man. This is one of those games. I'm tempted to
Come
take.
on.
Hey,
I'm
no,
tempted.
I was
Listen.
thinking the same thing, man.
No, not to win. I ain't taking them to win. I'm saying I'm tempted to take Houston to cover that 10 points.
Tyrod is back though, so that helps.
I think Tennessee will beat them. I think it's going to be one of those close, ugly games though. So I would take Houston to cover that 10 points.
I mean, it's an easy pick for me with the Titans. You know.
Yeah, I'll stick with Tennessee, and they'll cover the points. And I like the over.
Under.
Under. All right. This is one of the most interesting games of the week to me. Green Bay Packers visiting Minnesota Vikings. Right now, the Packers are a 1-point favorite. Under over is 47 points.
Go ahead, fellas.
Give me the Vikings.
I'm taking Minnesota, and I'll take Minnesota to cover that 2 points.
1 point.
Yeah, 1 point.
Yep. I like Minnesota to win, and 47 points. I like a lot of the overs today.
So you guys are counting out the Packers, you're saying?
No, I'm not counting them out. I think Minnesota's one of those matchups for them. Minnesota, I'm going to say this. If they can win today, it may be time for everybody to take Minnesota serious because they can do 2 things very well. They can rush the passer and they can score points.
And Fidel's been on Minnesota for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've been kind of snake bitten. You know, they could easily be number 1 in that division right now, honestly.
They could.
They've been snake bitten, so I think
I don't know what you've been watching. I mean, the Vikings are not the Vikings. Last year's Vikings was better than this year's Vikings.
Well, let me ask you this. Are the Vikings not the Vikings, or is the NFL just not the rest of the NFL? Because everybody seems to be kind of struggling with them. Green Bay struggled with Cincinnati, but Minnesota also struggled at Cincinnati. So it's like, are they not that good, or is the rest of the NFL not that good?
I think it's time for a new coaching change.
Well, definitely. I think it's time for that. But as far as this particular season,
I mean, how do you have that many weapons on offense? Especially, you know, I understand there's been a couple of distractions with the whole Dalvin Cook recently, right? But I mean, you got Justin Jefferson who came out last year, and you know you were expecting something so huge from this young man, and he can't live up to it. And then you got Adam Thielen also waiting to just get the ball, and for whatever reason, Kirk Cousins is having a hard time getting the ball distributed to these 2 playmakers that can go off.
well, they are putting up numbers now.
Well,
And I mean, what Cousins got 18 touchdowns with the 2 picks.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not equaling to W's this year. So.
It's just inconsistency all over. So give me the Packers in this game. I think Aaron Rodgers is back, isn't he?
Of course.
Well, give me the Packers.
I like Minnesota. And let's screw it. Let's go with the over as well. 47 points. All right. Cincinnati visiting Las Vegas right now. The Bengals are a 1.5 favorite in this game. Under over is 50.5.
Man, I want to pick the Bengals so bad on this one, man.
They're in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think give me the Raiders because the Raiders know that they got to win. Yes or no?
I'll take the Bengals.
Yep.
Well, yeah, of course. You got to win.
They have to win.
I'll take Bengals.
I want to pick the Bengals, but go ahead and give me the Raiders because the Raiders know that they got to play with a little bit more urgency. You can even see it in Derek Carr's eyes every week. He's upset with himself and he wants to he wants to win. So give me the Raiders, and like I said, I kind of wanted to go Bengals, but I think the Raiders are going to come away with a win.
I'll take Cincy, and I'll take Well, I think the Raiders will cover that, but I'll take Cincy to win the game. I just think I don't understand what's going on. I mean, Fidel, you can probably answer this. What's the deal with Brandon Jacobs? Not Brandon Jacobs. You don't
Josh
want that
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Well, so Henry Ruggs is one of his closest friends, and they've been together for I don't know. I think it was 5 years, 6 years. So that's having a huge impact on him. And he even came out earlier this week and said that it's bothered him, the whole situation. But he said he is ready to get back to playing well and helping this team make a run. So I expect a big game from Josh Jacobs today.
No, I just wonder because it seems like since his rookie season, now he did have 12 touchdowns last season. He did have that. Didn't have as many rushing yards. He seems to be really struggling this season. I think he's averaging like 3.7 yards per carry.
Yeah.
He hasn't eclipsed 100 yards on the ground in the game this season. He hasn't even eclipsed 20 carries in a game this season so far.
And here's what happens with Josh towards the end of the year. He gets injured. So this year, he was dealing with a foot injury earlier in the year. As you guys remember, I think he played a little bit in the Ravens game and then was out for a couple games. So, but let's not. I mean, I know Henry did what he did, but I mean, they're missing him. I mean, that was a guy that was an emerging star on this offense, and they can't seem to get the ball to Darren Waller. He's being double covered. So, I mean, someone's gonna have to step up on this offense.
I mean, you're gonna. I would expect Darren Waller to step up. I mean, the guy can make big time plays. He can be double team, triple team, and he's gonna come down with the ball. So he needs to be that leader.
Derek needs to find.
I don't
Derek
trust
needs
Josh
to find
Jacobs.
a way to throw him open. I guess you can say.
In fact, Josh Jacobs is one of my least favorite players in the entire NFL. I just don't like his attitude. I'm sorry. I think the young man's childish. I think that he doesn't take the sport serious. I think when he blasted the fans last season, that kind of really like showed me his true colors. I didn't like it when he was blasting fans for fantasy football. I'm like, dude, come on, man. You're on offense. You're in the NFL. This is a privilege. The NFL to play in the NFL is a privilege. You should be happy that people are choosing you on their fantasy team, even though that you had a bad week. Don't go off on your little rant. Anytime a player goes off on a rant like that, just shows you that player is not confident in who he is or what he does. But yeah, I don't trust Josh Jacobs.
I will say this: I think they're gonna split the carries between him and Kenyon Drake because Kenyon Drake is a more dynamic player out of the backfield, especially catching the football.
I like Kenyon Drake a lot.
All right, Arizona Cardinals visiting the Seattle Seahawks. Kyler Murray is going to be a game time decision with that ankle injury. Right now, the Hawks are a 3-point favorite. Under over is 45.5.
I'll take Arizona. I don't see Arizona losing 2 straight, especially after the way. Especially that'll be 2 straight because who got them? Who got them last week?
Panthers.
Yeah, Carolina. So, yeah, they really can't afford to lose 2 straight games within the NFC. I think Colt had a rough game last week. He had a decent game against Frisco the prior week. I think they're better than Seattle, just flat out. And I just don't see them losing 2 straight. I'll take Arizona, and I'll take Arizona to cover, and I'll take the under.
If Kyler does not play, I like Seattle. Well, I mean, I like Seattle regardless with 3 points. And then, and then especially DeAndre Hopkins being out. That's another thing that's not being talked about enough either on this offense. I like the Hawks.
I'm going to go with Seattle just because the fact that Arizona has a bye next week, so they're probably not going to play Kyler today. I'm going to go with Seattle.
And I want to go Cardinals. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I hope that Kyler plays, but I will say this: if he doesn't, it's gonna be tough. I mean, we saw that it wasn't as easy as plug and play, like a lot of people were saying with what they had. What was it, like 2 weeks ago when
against the Niners?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, against the Niners when McCoy came in and he had a good game. I mean, last week they just showed us that it's not that easy just to find a replacement quarterback, especially like Kyler, who I mean, he worked so hard, but
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with the Cardinals.
I honestly, I just can't see the Seahawks team losing after performance last week against Green Bay. They scored no points. Now, keep in mind that was Russ's first game back from injury, so I like the Hawks today. All right, and then today's game, or sorry, did someone have comment?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, the Seahawks have really they've really destroyed this team, and I mean, we remember the Seahawks as Legion of Boom, right? And that defense was tenacious. It was making plays, and now look at the Seahawks. They're struggling just to even come away with a win.
Well, they have no identity.
Yeah, they
It's like
don't.
they're Russell Wilson chucking the ball deep downfield.
Yeah,
That's pretty much all they are. They don't know what they are on defense. It's rough for Seattle.
and the tough thing is that you have the head coach in place. You know what I mean? So you would hope that you would have an identity, but obviously with this coach, you don't.
I think we're going to see some big changes in the offseason for the Seahawks.
I hope so.
All right, and then today's game of the week, Dallas Cowboys visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, the Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite. Under over is 55.5.
I already told you. I got the Chiefs. And I'll take them to cover.
With the Cowboys, 31-28 Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys, man. Cowboys playing red hot right now. I think the Chiefs are just finding their groove back, but Cowboys are going to steamroll this. My only concern is after this win, I hope they don't turn the Jets off. You know what I mean?
We them boys. I'm gonna go with Dallas. I like
Yeah.
them to win,
Yeah.
and 55.5. That's a lot of points. I know these two dynamic offensive, but I think we're gonna see more of a defensive game today. Give me the under.
The last time a team, because these two teams are scoring. Let me see the actual score totals right now. So when we look at the Chiefs are averaging 26.2 points a game, and the Dallas Cowboys actually lead the NFL in points per game at 31.6. So the last time this kind of game happened, I believe it was the Rams and the Chiefs. Bless you. The Rams and the Chiefs, and I believe the final score of that game was like 56-51.
It was in the 50s, yeah, and the Rams won.
And the Rams won. So I mean, this has that potential to have that kind of power. But like Walter said, I mean, things could be so much easier if you get the running game going, right? Just don't let Patrick Mahomes on the field, and you don't have to put up these points.
Yeah. All right, and then the Sunday night cap is the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers right now are 6-point favorites, and under over is 47.5.
Chargers must win game. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Steelers got too many injuries on defense.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Man, I love me some Najee Harris. I think that he's going to be the future of the Steelers, but I don't think that Najee can cover all the flaws, and I think TJ Watt is out for this game.
He's out.
So give me the Chargers. I think the Chargers need to find. They need to. Oh, man, the Chargers have that potential to put up these crazy points every week, but I don't know. They get lost. But give me the Chargers this week.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers too.
Sloppy Steelers.
Well, I'll take the Steelers. I'll take them to cover the points, and let's go with the under at 47.5. And last game of the week, Monday Night Football, New York Giants visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks are now 11-point favorites. Under over is 50 points. Rob Gronkowski is probable to play tomorrow night as well.
I go with Tampa.
The Bucks lost last week, right?
They did Monday Night Football.
But give me the Bucks this week.
I like Tampa. I like Tampa big. Go cover. Give me the over.
12.5.
11.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I'll take the Giants to cover that 12. I'll take them to cover that 12. 11.
Man, I mean, some of these picks were easy, right? But man, there's some games out there like the Raiders and the Bengals, the Vikings and and Packers and Cowboys and Chiefs and the Steelers and Chargers. These are all, man, they can go either way. These games, man.
Well,
So
what's the trend been the last couple of weeks? Game or
Underdog.
that we were expecting to win, they've lost. So
yeah. I mean,
So, yeah.
it's been insane. I mean, I don't think we've had it. Well, yeah, we've had these kind of times where people were saying the NFL is rigged. They're choosing, right. They're scripting out the plays and not the plays. They're scripting out the games. It almost feels like, to a certain degree, like, man, that game should have been an easy win, but it wasn't. Completely. But I will say this. I mean, today's gonna be an exciting day, and then come Thursday, we're gonna be able to enjoy some family time with our families and watch some good games, right? Some good football too.
Yeah, and with that being said, let's go and get to some bold predictions for Week 11 in the NFL.
Okay.
My bold prediction, I'm gonna go with Michael Gallup will have 150 plus receiving yards and 3 touchdowns today from Dak Prescott.
That's bold.
I kind of want to say I don't know why, but I feel that there's gonna be I believe there's gonna be we're gonna reach 1,000 yards between the Cowboys and the Chiefs in today's game.
Ooh.
Total.
My bold prediction is Indianapolis being the Buffalo Bills, and now that Lamar Jackson's out, well, I don't know how bold this is. I think the Bears are going to beat the Ravens.
I got the Jags. I got the Jags over the 49ers today at home.
Wow, I can't believe we did it.
All right. And with that being said, do you guys have any final thoughts before we end today's stream?
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
go ahead, Jerry. No, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say. I was just gonna say, just keep an eye out with our social medias. I know that coming soon we're gonna have some big time guests coming on our podcast and whatnot. So and if you have any special requests or questions, let us know, man, in the comment section. And if you're on YouTube, remember hit the like button. Subscribe and turn on all notifications.
And also,
Yeah.
keep an eye out for the Carolina Panthers. I'm just going to say that, not saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl or whatever and make a deep NFC playoff run, but we've seen teams make moves that get things going. This team is still right in the mix of it. There's a chance the Saints could lose today. If Carolina takes care of business against Washington today, that further move separates them from the Saints. And, of course, the Falcons. The Falcons are pretty much dead. But the Carolina Panthers, McCaffrey's healthy. They can still rush the passer. They can still lock down in the secondary. And Cam Newton isn't going to hurt him. He may not throw for 340 and 3 touchdowns, but Cam isn't going to go out there and cost them games the way Sam Darnold did. So keep an eye on those Carolina Panthers. Things can get real interesting in the NFC over the next 2-3 weeks.
All right. And with that being said, thank you everyone out there for watching. Enjoy your Sunday. Take care, and we'll talk to you guys on Thursday. See ya.
See ya.